Hey there, geeks! Adam coming back at you with another edition of Comic Card Crazy. We are continuing our comic book movie trading cards series, and this month on our Patreon for our 90s Super Cinema podcast, we are checking out a film from 1995 you might recall called Judge Dredd. Yes, indeed. Stallone and Judge Dredd. Of course, looking at the DVD cover, you would have no idea that this was based on the UK comic book. Yeah, it was a British comic. And he appeared on the cover of Wizard. You better believe it. Judge Dredd definitely was a favorite of, our European comic book fellows. And then he got moved to the United States. DC Comics is publishing him. A lot of companies actually took their turn at doing Judge Dredd. But then, in 1995, Stallone is making a live-action movie. There were so few live-action comic book movies. It was a big deal at the time. I mean, it was on the back of Wizard 2. So, the front and the back. This is actually an advertisement for the video game. I literally was in like a retro antique store today, and I saw the Judge Dredd Sega Genesis game in a cabinet. So he's all over the place. You can't escape him. So we have 2 packs of Judge Dredd movie cards. We're going to get into this, give you a little preview of the action. If you've never seen the film, maybe you'll track it down. Or maybe if you have seen it and you want to hear our thoughts, you can go to patreon.com/wizardscomics, subscribe for just $5 a month, get that episode, but so many more episodes of 90s Super Cinema films that we've covered, in addition to uncut early release editions of our main podcast, Wizards, the Podcast Guide to Comics, where we cover every issue of Wizard Magazine, as well as a scan of Wizard Magazine so that you can follow along. There's so much to be gained over on patreon.com/wizardscomics, but right now we're all about the cards, so let's open them up. Okay, so here we are with our pack of Judge Dredd, the movie collector's cards. These are by Edge, which is a company that I have not heard of in the trading card game. I wonder what other series they produced. But there were 8 cards per pack here. You can see kind of an illustrated version of Stallone from the film. What's interesting on the back here is it says Sleep of the Just subset offer. These 9 cards complete the story Sleep of the Just, which appears exclusively on the Dredd collector cards from Edge Entertainment. Features all new art from Ron Smith and original story by David Bishop. So you can all get the final 9 panels, it says, from Sleep of the Just for $9.95 if you want to mail away for them. But it sounds like that's like a subset that you could get inside here, a comic book story exclusive to this. That's pretty neat. But I love the foil on this pack. It looks great. So we got 2 to open. Let's start here and see where this takes us. All right. So tears pretty easily. All right. Well, this is an interesting card to start with. Fatties? Art by Ron Smith. I don't know about the fatties, but that is quite an outfit that he has going on there. Looks like he rides around in a wheelbarrow of some sort, but the wheel's flat. Okay, so interesting. They also have a combine the cards set. I wonder which section of Dredd that is. I'm assuming it's Judge Dredd. All right, next up here is Fink and Ratty by Jason Brashall. So that's gotta love those bowler hats there on a rat and some type of barbarian zombie. I don't know. Okay, so here's another one here. So how do you know, are these all one or are there multiple? Because this actually looks like, what's his name, one of those angel guys. So far, none of this has to do with the movie? Raptar, art by Dean Ormston. Yeah, so this is weird. Again, okay, so this looks like Judge Death's leg. So there must be a ton of these different cards you can put together. But once again, we're not seeing any stills from the movie. This is just like the history of Judge Dredd from the comics, which is better than stills from the movie, but totally unexpected. So ABC War Robot by Trevor Hairsine. Okay. Wow. Okay, this is very different than I thought. I mean, just when they say the movie on the front, you think that's what you're getting. Here's Judge Anderson, art by Jason Brashall. Just this wonderful painted art. I assume these were all part of covers for different comics, but this is awesome. Okay, so here's Judge Hershey. So art by Cliff Robinson. So Judge Hershey, of course, appears in the movie, played by Diane Lane. All right, look, okay, so they do have some association with the film, because there is Judge Dredd himself. infamously without his helmet and on trial there. Stallone doing his best to intimidate with that look. He's not happy about the situation. All right, there's the Lawmasters. Oh, look at all those judges on their awesome motorcycles. Again, can't quite make out what all those pieces are going to be when they get together. But now we're back to the comics. Judge Dredd by Ron Smith. That's a very cartoony looking, illustrative version. Okay, so that's our first pack here. Here's our other one. I am curious to know how they divvied up everything that had to do with the movie and the comics. Is it heavier on the comics, which that pack was, but is the whole set like that? Are we going to get a checklist? I don't know. Oh, well, we got our first double, so there's fatties again. They really thought everybody wanted this card. But now we're back to the movie. Okay, so a little more variety. So here's Dredd and Mean. So there he is, killing one of his captors in a very infamous scene in the film. I mean, the special effects and the makeup work are really awesome in this movie. All right, Rico. Okay. So this is art by Trevor Hairsine. So Rico is the main villain of the movie, looking very different here and quite grotesque with no nose and all of that. I bet there's much more of a story about them facing off, he and Dredd. Okay, there's Judge Fear. Ooh, Dean Ormston with some awesome painting there. Looks like he belongs in a Magic the Gathering card set, not in this. All right, and here we go. More from the film, Judge Dredd. That's how we like to see him. Yep, Stallone looking good in that outfit, man. It was a cool costume. It looked awesome for as long as he kept the helmet on, but of course, most of the movie, he doesn't have his outfit. He is stripped. Back to comics. So Mean Machine. Ooh, art by Frank Quitely. I did not know Frank Quitely did he do like a whole Judge Dredd issue, or is that just a promotional piece, or, you know, like, I don't think, is it exclusive to the set even? Maybe he was just doing covers? I don't know. Greg Staples. Looks like Dredd was passing judgment on some guy up there. And finally, ooh, now that is a good look. Cliff Robinson is doing awesome work here. Now, it makes me wonder, because I could have sworn I saw Brian Boland Judge Dredd art, and maybe he did do some, but looking at this, now I'm kind of realizing maybe it was Cliff Robinson all along. All right, well, lots of great art to find in these packs. Let's decide which is my favorite. I gotta say, those cards were a pleasant surprise. I liked that it was mostly the comic art, which is really what we needed. You know, as interesting as the set design and the costumes and makeup and everything were in the film, you know, you want to go to the source material. So of those comic cards, I just gotta say that this is classic Judge Dredd for me. When I think of Dredd, this is what I'm there for. But, you know, of the movie stills, again, I want that classic look, and here he is, just, you know, for the time that he spent in costume. The helmet looked awesome, the shoulder pads looked awesome, so yeah, so that was nice. I will say, as part of our 90s Super Cinema episode, we are talking about the 1995 Judge Dredd, but we're also talking about, yes, the much better Dredd, right? If you've seen that, Carl Urban, who keeps the helmet on the entire movie, it is a really, really cool film. So we will talk about both of them. We'll contrast and compare. Once again, that's on patreon.com/Wizards Comics. But if you want to stay connected to the world of 90s comics and Wizard history as we go through it one issue at a time, you can find us at wizardscomics.com is our archive of nearly 300 episodes, where we also have interviews. We go behind the scenes and talk to the people who made Wizard Magazine, comic book pros who appeared in Wizard, get their stories. But also, you can just find us on social media at Wizards Comics or at Wizards_Comics on Instagram. Get scans of the issues we're discussing, get updates as to the episodes that are on their way, those that have just dropped. But thank you again for being here on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss any of our other videos. And until next time, keep your books bagged and boarded.